or not. I'm not sure. But anyway, y'all, good afternoon. I'm back in my place of comfort. Let me put on my green screen so y'all don't see the mess behind me. Let me put on the green screen. Ba-da, 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 ba-da. Ba-da-da-da. We are our ancestors. So, anyway, y'all. Surprise, surprise, right? Ooh, I gotta go for a cleaning, y'all. Oh, my teeth are starting to look horrible. I'm getting old. I gotta start taking care of the teeth. But it's so hard to find a good dentist. I have a dentist, but, well, maybe God will direct me to the right one to care for my teeth, cause I already have one missing over here on the side. You know what I'm saying? And that there. So anyway, how y'all doing? How you doing? But we know how to make it look good. You know what I'm saying? That's how innovative we are. We're very innovative, creative, and that's the beauty of being black. That's the beauty of being black, because no matter how much they try to come and destroy us, we still rise. We still rise. So anyway, people who are called by my name will humble themselves and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways. I will hear from heaven and I will bless the land. You figure. Second Chronicles 7:14. And who are my people? Who do Jesus come to? Who are the people that he said watch over Israel? Who was Jacob, the son of Isaac and Abraham? Hi, Kevin. How are you? Right? So, listen to the language of God. Listen to the songs of David. Listen, okay, to the wisdom of Solomon. I am the God of yesterday, today, and forever. More. The Alpha, the Omega, the author, and the finisher of our lives. Today is Wednesday. Tell me that there did the white people come from, and who created them? God created them. Everything is created by God, even Satan. So what else you need to know? Okay? What else do you need to know? Some people just want to come in here and be disrespectful. Stay on the topic, okay? Okay, that person is gone. We're not going to do this foolishness today. Especially interrupting me when I'm trying to give somebody the wisdom coming from the Lord. Okay, so anyway, a lot of us don't know. Some of us has lost our way. Some of us have fell by the wayside. And right now, America is catching hell. Okay? Not everybody in America is catching hell. So let's get that together. Let's get that together. Only those who disobey the word of God, those who don't live without no God, those who don't live under the laws and the commandments are the ones who's catching hell. But those of us who know when God is talking from the heavens and he's pouring out his wisdom here on earth, how we are supposed to act. The Lord is in his holy temple. Let all the earth be silent before him. And if those of you who are not silent before the Lord, you got all that noise going on in your life, you out there in all kind of chaos and madness or whatever, you got worries going over your head, your kids are wilding out, you in a unhealthy, toxic marriage or relationship with somebody. It's just all of that going on right now, so you can't hear the Lord. So you kind of like caught up in hell. And people like myself, who give nothing but time to Jesus, time to the Lord, I see you. I see you. Yeah, Carmelo did it, but he didn't know he did it. Carmelo don't know a damn thing, okay? Because he don't even understand how it happened. So you can move on with that. When I tell you God hands is in something, y'all, listen to what I'm saying. Okay? I already told you the story of David. I already told you when he came up against the bully Goliath, and Goliath got knocked out with 3 stones. Okay? And his head was taken. And David was a little boy. Nobody noticed in the Bible, God never gave the age of David. When David had to come and confront the bully. And David, the only difference is that David volunteered, putting his faith and his trust in the God of hosts, the God in the heavens, the living true God. Okay? From him pouring into David and giving David the strength with his 3 little stones to take down big badass Goliath. Just like Carmelo wasn't even prepared on earth, but the battle was going on in heaven. And he was already covered by God's angels. As they were doing their covering here on earth, that's exactly what was going on in the heavens. Okay? You didn't see the angels. Okay? You didn't see the angels that was around Carmelo that day. Only the pure at heart shall see God. God don't come into no dirty heart, no dirty mind, none of that. Your blood got to be purified. You have to have a connection to Jesus to understand. But you not his. So you don't understand. We're going to get out of this chat because I'm trying to get God word through, and this is trying to be a distraction to me. So they got to go to the pits of hell. Okay? These people going to go to the pits of hell. These kind of people got to go to the pits of hell. I don't know how I could do it this way. That's why when I'm not on camera, I could do it this way. Okay. So anyway, like I said to you all, when the battle was going on down here on earth, God already had that battle up there on heaven and down here on earth. Now, do you understand what I'm saying? Because these fools are trying to come up in here with all of the stupid foolish, that ain't nobody but Satan agents, okay? That's nobody but the devil trying to come up in my chat, kind of distract you, trying to get people in here to get all crazy and confused. But hang in there with me, okay? That's only the devil trying to interrupt things, trying to bring distractions. But God got this battle. Just like I told you from the heavens here on earth when Carmelo was being confronted and being bullied by Austin and his boys, and how he was invited to come sit under the tent with the Eddie dude. They probably told him to bring him over there so that they could start some shit with him. And that's probably exactly how it went down. They know Carmelo ain't no troublemaker. Look at him. He has a child spirit, a very child spirit. Most videos that you go and see of him in his family time and with his family, he was with his mother, his father, and his other younger siblings. Having family time, quality time with their family. Going to their little family functions and events and everything. Ain't nothing about his life is about the streets. Ain't nothing about him is about going out intentionally, meaning to harm someone. That's how you raise your children. And then you want to put Jesus in your mouth and know you a liar. God don't live in your house. Okay? You can see everything about that family is about Christian conservative values. Ain't nothing messy on his record. Which y'all trying to put a stain there and put him down for murder. Even trying to offer him some smaller sentence. He shouldn't be there at all. You missing the point. Y'all let two murderers walk out without facing the consequences or without taking accountability for what they did. Kyle Rittenhouse and Danielle Penny. Remember that. Because it's coming to your home real soon. To your community and to your children. As much as you trying to flip it on us, you going to see. We just lost another person down in the army of the Lord and somebody that had a business out there. I don't know the whole details of the story, but once I do my research and I get my information and I can see everything that went down, then I'll come back and share it with you. But right now, I don't really know much about that story. So these people don't put no fear in me. Now when you don't agree with them, then they talk about, oh, you a hateful person. You a hateful person. Well, let me be hateful. If that's who you think I am. You know, just like Christ asked, I think it was Peter, who am I? Who do you think I am? Who do you think I am? That's what you say I am. And if that's what you think I am, then so be it. I ain't got no time to try to convince you of who I am for speaking love for my people. And you out here harming my people. And you out here putting guns and bullets in the back of the children of my people. And I'm supposed to speak love to you? And I'm supposed to show you love when you show me nothing but pure hate in your actions? And I'm not saying this to every white person out there, okay? Let's get that together. This only goes to the white supremacists. Amen. No, we don't abuse scripture. The thing is that you just don't understand it because you don't read it. You don't read it. You use God only for a trend. God is today, yesterday, and forevermore. God is the same God from ancient times. Okay, we don't put him down on the shelf and wait for something to go off and it's become some kind of trend or movement, then we want to push God in it. No, we don't do that. And God knows who we are. God knows our names. And he knows who belongs to him and who don't. You can speak all this nonsense you want here, calling me whatever name you want to call me, but God knows who I am. He knows my name. So I ain't worrying about you. You can say whatever you think if you think I'm 13%. That's what men say, but that's not what God said. Okay? Because inside of his people, we are all different colors, but you just don't know that. You just don't know that. God's people under his rainbow are all different colors. Not everybody belongs to him. He didn't say anything. He said the Jews, the Gentiles, you all welcome to join when you get yourself uncircumcised. You got to get uncircumcised. Your heart got to change. You got to come with a renewed mind, a transformation from the way you think of the world. You don't understand that though, because you still in the world. But I'm here to teach you. You can say all you want to, Noah Fenici. I see you always coming over here. You obsessed. You always coming over here. You know, when I don't really care for to hear about a person and what a person teaches and what a person says, I wouldn't even bother going on their platform. I don't go listening to them. I don't be even following them in they nothing. I block them. But this Noah dude, he continues to be obsessed. He comes into my chat. Excuse me. He comes to my community wall. He makes posts underneath everything that I have posted on my community wall. Well, Noah, thank you. Anyway, you keeping the algorithms. Thank you so much for your support. I appreciate you. You giving me the algorithms. I really appreciate you, Noah. Bless your heart. He's a real diehard fan. I don't come here to debate. God word ain't no debate. Girl, bye. Or dude, bye. Whatever you are. I don't know what you hiding behind in that username. But like I said, Noah's keeping he's my number one fan. But anyway, right? Like I said, yeah, Noah, you keep the algorithms going. You keep them up, Noah. Noah's my fan. Number one fan. Anyway, anyway, everybody, like I was saying and stuff, God is always omnipresent. And the thing is that when people think they doing they deeds, they wicked deeds, and it's not being noticed and recorded in heaven, it's being recorded. Soon and very soon, we are going to see the King. Soon and very soon. Okay, let me let y'all listen to a little music while I take a little break. Okay, I'll be right back with you all. Just hang in there. Your girl Kaci McDaniel will be back with you. Just hang in there, okay? Noah, keep them busy. In the silence of this moment, I can feel your presence here, holding every broken piece, wiping every hidden tear. When the night was cold and lonely, you were standing by my side. Through the storms that tried to break me, you became my place to hide. Every road I walked in darkness, every fear I couldn't face, you kept calling me so gently. Now I'm wrapped in your grace. You never left me, you never changed. Your love kept reaching through all my pain. I'm wrapped in your grace, covered in mercy, held by your love every day. No matter how far
You never change. Your love kept reaching through all my pain. Wrapped in your grace, covered in mercy, held by your love every day. No matter how far, no matter how far, no matter how long, you always show me the way, the way. Your light surrounds me, your light surrounds me, your peace restores me forever. My heart will say, I'm wrapped in your grace, wrapped in your grace. When my journey here is over and I see your face above, I will sing about your goodness and the power of your love.
Okay.
My story.
Some people went away, huh? I know how to make it real boring for them to leave on their own. Oh, they somewhere hanging around looking for KC.
Wrapped in your grace. You never left me. You never left me. You never changed. Your love kept reaching through all my
I'm looking at the conversation. Okay. Where Noah went? He went somewhere? Okay. He'll be back. He can't help himself. He's obsessed. Obsessed with blackness, black excellence. You know. Yep, black excellence. So I saw some conversations going on around the Nation of Islam, who've been really silent. You know, I don't know who really the voice out there for them besides Farrakhan. Farrakhan is just like you could say Trump to the white people. You know, that's the way as far as I'm concerned. All of them. Trump. Who's going to replace these people? Who's going to be the new one to take the baton? You know what I'm saying? Because I think like the young generation now, they need another young person up there, somebody on fire for them. You know, to represent for their community. You know what I'm saying? What is going on? You know what I'm saying? It's like white people. And I'm going to be straight up honest. I already told you Trump was just a businessman. And he had to come in to be the president of the United States. This businessman with all this controversy and scandal or whatever you want to call it, you know. But it is what it is, y'all. But he's holding up pretty well for white America, you know, for America, period, you know, because at least black people now can see who our bigots are, you know, sitting around us, who's in our courthouse, who's in our precincts, who's the sheriffs, who's the county, whatever, you name it, in government and all of this stuff around the politics. You know, monkey in the middle. I remember that game when I was a kid called Monkey in the Middle. Somebody in the middle and you tossing the ball to one person, to the other person, to the other side, and it's that one in the middle, and the ball, once the ball drop to the monkey, you know, that's that, you know, the things, the games we played when we were children made us critical thinkers. We were innovative, we were creative. You know, it brought all kind of new things we invented as and just in playing as kids, and you didn't realize you were doing this. And I complain, okay, I'm not a leftist. Why are you saying? Is everything politics? Matter of fact, I voted for Trump. Lord Jesus, glory to God. You see what I'm saying? You never know. You can't come in here and already automatically assume because I'm black I'm a leftist. I am a registered Democrat, though. But I didn't vote Democrat for this election of 2024. I didn't vote for Kamala. I voted for Trump because I believed in his policy as an American. So I don't understand what you mean by a leftist. Woo! Well, anyway, moving forward about the gay monkey in the middle that I was talking about before interrupted with this person already being prejudiced and misjudging me and thinking that I am automatically vote blue no matter who. No, I don't. I take listen to me, okay? I vote for whoever I feel will be the best candidate or the best person for the position. I didn't trust Kamala. I didn't like the way she was being stereotypical and being on the low. She was just saying some shady shit that I just didn't feel comfortable with. Okay, not saying that I don't know Kamala. You know what I'm saying? But I'm thinking about people in leadership and somebody that is supposed to be leading our nation here and what kind of people they are repping for. You know what I'm saying? Are they repping really truly for the American people? And that includes foundational black American people who have always been looked over and overlooked by everybody else that come over. Where was her part in including us in there instead of grouping us in with everybody else? No, we ain't doing that. We ain't doing that monkey in the middle bullshit. So Trump was being the straight up person that he was, and the person that we knew, the person that we already knew. But I knew Jesus. You understand what I'm saying? That's what you didn't understand. Talking all the big blase mess he been talking. You know what I'm saying? And his relationships with shady people in the black community, like some people don't respect and some people didn't really trust and thought they was was all about being bag chasers. Now all about the money. It ain't about the people no more. It's about the profit. So I don't know. You know what I'm saying? They was in the world of all of that stuff. So birds of a feather flocks to me together. Whether you black or whether you white. You can't talk bad about him because you was hanging with the boob. So don't come and say all of that shit to us now. Y'all keep that between y'all. That's the way I feel. But let the people decide for themselves. Okay? That's the way I feel. Because when you was rocking with them, you wasn't saying all that nonsense. But now you got a whole lot to say. Now that the business deal or whatever fell through, or whatever the situation was that you was supposed to do to get people to bit where you want the black people to be, use the what the hell, whatever went down, but leave us out of it. You know what I'm saying? Don't group us in. And let's us deal with everybody as individuals. Don't do no shady business deal on nobody's life behind no business deal. You know what I'm saying? If that's in your heart, that's in your heart. If it don't work out, it just don't work out. But see, to God, I trust God. I don't do no evil thing. I don't. I don't want to be hit by the Father's hand. And then on top of that, I don't want the karma coming to me. And all those people that all support evil, evil will be coming to them real soon. And that's why I'm saying I have to carefully examine everybody that's going right now that's just look like me and it looks like it's some racism bullshit with it. I'm not jumping on the bandwagon with all of that. Okay, that's just too much. Because I gotta let God be God. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not God. Because behind every incident that's going on behind whoever, black, white, Puerto Rican, I don't care. But the thing is that when God pulls at my heartstring, I don't move on every incident. I don't move on every racial, supposed to have been motivated incident. I just don't move like that. I only move on the incidents that God pulls my heartstring to move on. He doesn't put me in everybody's battle because of the color of my skin or the color of their skin. And even when I had to elect somebody, I was not going to elect a woman who did not think about what was good for me, for the black woman, and for the black family. You know what I'm saying? All this grouping me in with immigrants. No, I'm not an immigrant. I'm an American, and it's all about the American people first. So that's why I had to flip over to the Trump side. He was saying the American people, and that included me. I'm an American. I went to school here all my life. I don't know no other place in the world. I lived here all my life. I'm planted and rooted here. Those who are planted in the house of the Lord shall flourish in the courts of the God that planted them there. And I know my God, the true living God, the most high God, you know. But I'm just saying, I don't move on skin color, all that other stuff. I listen to God and where God directs my heart. And my heart wasn't directed in everybody's fight. Yes, there's a whole lot of black lives out there being lost in the battle because of some injustice or racism or police profiling or their kids killing them or their boyfriend killing them or their girlfriend killing them, setting them up, gang violence going on, YNs and all that other crazy stuff. And gangster rappers and all that gang banging, whatever. And everybody got to switch. But I'm here focused on where the Lord send me to go. I can't go in all these different places. So why I'm right now, this battle right here on my channel is for injustice. Okay? In the law. And I'm about Jesus. First and foremost as the commander in chief in my battle. So you people can say whatever you want to say about the hatefulness, about me being a racist, and about all that. But when it comes to my people, when the Lord pulled me in the battle for my people, I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna follow His command and be obedient to what the Lord tell me to do. I ain't got time. I ain't worrying about you. Obedience, which brings breakthroughs. You know, get my people striving and thriving. You know what I'm saying? Like I said in New York, y'all won that game. That's a sign from God that New York take back your city, the the urban culture of New York. New York had all the coaches out here sold out with the urban culture with hip hop. Get these foreigners out of your city. This is what I'm saying. Because not everybody belongs in America and not everybody belongs in New York. There's a certain kind of element taking away the people's happiness and the bright lights and the inspiration and everything else. And we didn't bring that there. They did. The black culture and the Latino culture, because those was the cultures that did assimilate. And I know my black people out there don't like to hear that, but I grew up in the Bronx and Brooklyn, and a lot of times I was always exposed around a lot of Latinos. A lot of Latinos were always Puerto Ricans, mostly Puerto Ricans, though, but they American. But I just wanted to just let my black American family know that they're part of us too, because they was there with us when shit went down. You know, they took some part of it too. And they considered to claim they African heritage, Afro Latinos. You know what I'm saying? They got down with us too, and we don't want to exclude them out. You know what I'm saying? But with this part, we have to exclude them out because they wasn't part of that part of us. You know what I'm saying? From the roots. So that's what we saying. But they have been our friends, and we don't want to insult the Latinos, especially the Puerto Ricans. Okay. Especially the Puerto Ricans, because through all of this, Cardi B has been most of the most biggest voices out there in her advocacy, in her activism, especially against things that have been done to black people. She has really truly been one of the loudest, okay, as a Latina. So we not gonna do that, okay? I just ain't gonna do that because I'm looking at everybody for what they do for us. And there's a whole lot of white people too that go out there and they put their life on the lifeline too. So we not gonna do that either. But what we're saying, okay, when it comes to fighting for these reparations and it comes against fighting against white supremacy, that's our fight. Just one on one with them. Okay? And believe me, we gonna win. Okay? As long as the Lord is on our side, who can be against us? The Lord is strong and mighty in battle. We got no weapons here on earth. Remember that. Our weapons are in heaven. So we telling them, okay, we going one on one. We ain't bringing nobody else in this. I ain't got to explain to them. Like, you want to hear about reparations, you need to go visit the channels that are talking about it. Even if you have to stay out there on the curve or whatever the hell, you go peek it in the window. You could go to, what's his name again? The young man that be out there, whatever, Black Network, Alpha Black Network. You could go to his channel, or you could go to one of those other Black Network channels. I just know reparations for myself, okay? I know what reparations I'm talking about, but they give you a whole breakdown of what reparations is about, because they've been on this fight for a long time and they ain't stopping. So if you want to know about reparations, this ain't the channel for reparations. But I'm just sharing some things with you, some information with you, okay? Is that all right?
Face to face within your glory, and I'll sing
You
about
know, I'm just saying, somebody down, what have I done? You know, my ancestors. That's what I have done. Okay? We are our ancestors, an inheritance to their children. And that's biblical. I don't know what the hell your ancestors are. You up here coming off and popping off at me and getting angry and mad. But I'm just telling you, you once. Well, you know what? Okay, put it this way, okay? We're in America, and we talking about the chattel slave children and those who were captured and made and put in slavery that weren't chattel children. And then a lot of things were stolen, ripped from them. Their businesses burnt, their family businesses burnt down, our history and everything else like that. Because what everything had to do with them had to do with us too. That's what I'm saying to you. Through generation. And God talks through a lineage, through a generation. When you follow the word of God, I don't understand you Christians. Are you reading your word? Do Jesus touch your heart, or are you moving on spirit, or are you just looking at the world or worldly gain, worldly greed, things you wouldn't mind doing just for $1 million? You will give your mother up. You will put your mother up for $1 million. That's greed. That is worldly greed. But see, we store up our riches in the kingdom of heaven. We don't store up our riches here on earth. That's the difference between us and people that's like you. See, everything on earth, these things are going to pass away. But heaven is always, boo. It's our spirit. It's our life that flows from our heart. You know? We seeing you folks out here acting like the wild animal and the beast. Oh, Lord. My video is about to die, y'all. Because of the simple fact I gotta find my charger. So let y'all act like the wild beast. You know what I'm saying? Because he said where he put him at. He know where he put Satan at. Come on. He ain't in the heavens. He got kicked out of the kingdom. I don't want to get into all the details of it because if I do, I gotta save some things for the next day for you. I don't want to wear you out. I don't want to wear you out. But I'm just saying, he rules my father. No, Christianity did not do the slavery. It was whoever was. People are infiltrators in every group of religion in the world. Okay, there are hypocrites in every. Just know that there are hypocrites in every religion in the world. Everything because people are saying they are. Jesus Christ already explained that they walk around in their religious attire. They like to sit in the high seats in these big in places with dignitary people. They like to be at the biggest places, being always their name called, and everybody giving them applause and everything else like that. That's the world. That's the life of the world. You know what I'm saying? But some things these people did before they got no seats, right? You know who they harmed. You know they hurt people. They killed people. They put people in jail falsely. They did a lot of evil, wicked things to get the riches of the world. The world. Heaven lasts always. You live in a life where you trying to do everything to keep yourself away from evil or harm to yourself or to others. And also, you try to listen as much as you can to those who are in authority. But at some point at a time, you have to be like, hey, I got to check you too. You know what I'm saying? But it happens, and it does happen. And when you read the story of David and how he put Nariah in that hot battle after he done banged his wife, and he tried to cover it up, right? So he tried to get rid of Nariah, so he could just but his boy had to come and check him. Nathan, he said, "Look, that wasn't right, man. You knew that dude was gonna get killed up in there, because you couldn't even win that battle. That's why you didn't go. But you're going to send him up there so he could die. So you banged his wife and got her pregnant." He could have been, and Nariah was a faithful servant under David. You know what I'm saying? He didn't even go to, when David told him to go home and he pulled him from the war to go be with his wife and everything. He didn't do it. He wanted to be more faithful to David than his wife. So the story goes both ways, y'all. Me and Ted, go home and be with your wife and bang her. Shit. Go home and be with your wife and bang her. You know, you out here in the war and stuff, and she's young, beautiful, and ripe. I wouldn't say Malcolm X. None of them was false prophets, and they are prophets. You know what I'm saying? God is real. God sent real people down here to do real things on real assignments. So you can say whatever you want to say, okay? But he do use people for whoever he want to use them for. Everybody ain't gonna be so beautiful in front of you that he use, and that's the part you don't understand about God. That's the thing you don't understand about the Creator. So you ain't in no place to judge nobody of who's who. You just watch, pay attention, and learn. I wouldn't say they false prophets. I just think now that it's time for Farrakhan to have a trained younger person, not somebody from his family or anything, but just a nice young man he know that can really carry that Nation of Islam, because he getting dried up and old. It's time now he got somebody that's sharpened in the faith and in the fight to be able to be the next young minister coming up. I couldn't agree with that. Just like I said, I don't think that I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that they didn't train up a great generation of children. I don't know. You can't say that. You can't say that, because I know some doctors and all kind of people that came up in the Nation of Islam. Okay, so you can't say that. See, I think Nation of Islam supposed to be out on the street getting hit in the head with billy clubs and being police activity going on in the news all the time, and they supposed to be out of order like that. But that's not what the organization is about. In America. In America. The Nation of Islam, black men in America. Black America Nation of Islam. That's what I'm talking about. These are brothers that this didn't want nothing to do with white culture. They stick to their own culture. Anything that white people, that they wanted to separate their culture from the white culture. But they raised up a generation of great men and women and children. They, I don't know. You out here saying they false and fake or whatever. I don't see a lot of brothers from Nation of Islam. Not if they from Nation of Islam, they not on the streets. Trust me, they not out there doing nothing in those streets. If they a true brother of Nation of Islam, they about their father's business, and they are Christians as well. But they Christians on a different level. That's why they call themselves a Nation of Islam because of Israel.
Mercy found me. Now my heart is free.
See, you don't know nothing about these people. These people, this ain't about religion. It's about your faith in the God of the Bible, knowing who He is. When He placed you somewhere, they are the brothers of Meshach, Shimrak, and Abednego. Okay? If you go back to your book of the Bible and Daniel's, they rejected to eat foods of the king Nebuchadnezzar. They didn't want nothing to do with the Babylon culture. They had their own culture, they had their own language, and they had their own God. And then the man and the ruler of that place wanted to send them in the fire and furnace, and they told them, well, so whatever. They bound them up and they wanted to put them in the fire and furnace because they wasn't going to denounce their God, their culture, their identity. They wasn't going to do none of that. That's who the Nation of Islam is, which you don't understand. Some of them gonna have to be up in there in the prison just to train some of them brothers up in there. Some of the Christian brothers too. Without trying to poke some man up the ass or whatever, just take the discipline. That's why I know ain't nobody gonna touch Carmelo because the Nation of Islam is there, the Panthers are there. They all in there together. They run the prison. They run the prisons. So don't listen to the dumb shit y'all hear outside in these streets for the algorithms. But the black men up in those prisons, because they got so many of them in there, they run no damn prisons. And if they want to get revenge for somebody, they know how they got to get the warden and everybody to get on in it just so that they could go out on the street and get that person in prison so they could get them in the jail. I be watching those Tubi movies. But anyway, y'all, let me let myself charge up here. And I will be back with you soon. God bless you. Take care and take heed to what I'm saying. Peace.